recognize this ship as the beginning of a new chapter in the history of sea power.
In 1958, the USS Nautilus embarked on a groundbreaking mission beneath the frozen polar cap, propelled by revolutionary nuclear technology. This bold expedition, named Operation Sunshine, showcased humanity's audacity and unwavering quest for exploration.
Even the most powerful icebreakers are helpless against this frozen barrier. The announced purpose of this crew was to indoctrinate Pacific Fleet units in the capabilities of nuclear submarines.
Beneath the icy Arctic surface, a world of mysteries awaited discovery.
Yes, that'll happen, but it's a long-term proposition.
Join us as we unravel the captivating tale of this historic journey, shedding light on the remarkable feats achieved in the name of discovery and advancement. The brave voyage of the USS Nautilus. In 1958, the submarine called USS Nautilus made a historic journey that would forever mark its place in history. This submarine was the first of its kind to be powered by nuclear energy, thanks to its submarine thermal reactor. This advanced technology allowed the Nautilus to stay underwater for much longer than the older submarines powered by diesel and electricity. With this new ability, Nautilus could go on missions that were once thought to be out of reach. Operation Sunshine embarked on a mission that was nothing short of extraordinary, involving the USS Nautilus and its dedicated crew of over 100 sailors on a groundbreaking journey beneath the icy expanse of the North Pole. The Nautilus wasn't just any ordinary submarine. It was remarkably unique for housing a nuclear reactor. This innovative reactor changed the game completely, enabling the submarine to remain submerged for unprecedented durations, far beyond the capabilities of traditional submarines, which were limited by the need to surface regularly to draw in air for their diesel engines. Embarking on a mission to traverse underneath the North Pole carried significant weight, especially during a tense era known as the Cold War. This was a time of fierce competition between two world powers, the United States and the Soviet Union, each constantly striving to surpass the other in displays of technological might and military power. By navigating successfully under the North Pole, the United States broadcasted a powerful statement to the Soviet Union and the global community about its superior technological advancements, hinting at a competitive edge in the realms of submarine warfare and polar exploration. Achieving this remarkable feat was far from straightforward. The mission faced a momentary setback due to impassable thick ice, but on August 3, 1958, the Nautilus achieved its goal. This momentous success demonstrated the feasibility of submarine navigation through the Arctic's icy waters, heralding new opportunities for stealth military maneuvers and enabling scientists to reach previously inaccessible parts of the globe. The development of the Nautilus represented a collaborative endeavor between the Electric Boat Company and the Argonne National Laboratory. Together, they engineered a submarine that not only surpassed the speed and underwater endurance of its predecessors, but did so without the necessity of surfacing for oxygen, thanks to its nuclear propulsion. Additionally, the submarine boasted the capability to convert salt water into fresh water, addressing the critical need for drinking water during extended voyages. The inception of the Nautilus and its successful polar expedition marked pivotal moments in the annals of maritime and military innovation. These achievements demonstrated the vast potential of nuclear-powered maritime vessels and laid the groundwork for a new chapter in the exploration of the ocean's depths and strategic military planning. Operation Sunshine not only showcased American technological ingenuity, but also left a lasting impact on naval tactics, scientific inquiry, and international perceptions of the Arctic's strategic value. The mission presented the crew with a series of formidable challenges, such as navigating through pitch darkness beneath the polar ice cap and contending with the severe cold. Despite these obstacles, the advanced technology equipped on the Nautilus enabled it to chart its course and report its triumphant passage, overcoming the adversities of the environment. This venture below the North Pole transcended a mere display of technological dominance. It symbolized the essence of human creativity and the relentless pursuit of the uncharted. The success of Operation Sunshine and the trailblazing journey of the USS Nautilus fueled inspiration across generations of engineers, sailors, and researchers to push the limits of the conceivable. This mission made people see the Arctic and Antarctic differently. Instead of viewing them as barriers, they were now seen as important areas for politics and science. The information gathered from the Nautilus and later missions was extremely valuable. It helped us understand more about the ocean under the ice, including how deep the sea ice was and what the seafloor looked like. After this remarkable journey, the Nautilus continued to set records and help with naval tasks. It even became the first nuclear-powered submarine to join the U.S. Sixth Fleet and was the first to have a complete nuclear ship overhaul. Though it was taken out of service in 1980, Nautilus remains an important part of history as a museum, linking the past and present of submarine technology. However, this achievement also highlights the complexity of human exploration and technology's role in military power. The mission into the Arctic's untouched waters shows both our desire to learn more and the ongoing push for military advancement. It's a reminder of the thin line between discovering new knowledge and using technology for power. On the opposite pole, Antarctica represents another extreme of Earth's environment, a place of incredible beauty and harsh challenges. It's one of the last places not fully explored by humans. Countries like Britain have been exploring Antarctica for more than 100 years, significantly adding to our knowledge about the world. Antarctica's unique conditions provide scientists with a one-of-a-kind natural lab for studying the sea and land ecosystems, weather patterns, and ancient Earth history. Research in these areas helps us learn more about our world's history, what's happening now, and what might happen in the future. It shows why it's so important to keep this untouched place safe for future scientists to study. In 1959, 12 countries signed a special agreement called the Antarctic Treaty, and now many more countries have joined. This treaty makes sure that Antarctica is used for peaceful purposes and scientific research only. It says no to military activities, supports science work, and keeps the continent's environment safe. This shows an amazing amount of working together by countries around the world. During a very cold and challenging research trip, Hugh Griffiths and his team found something amazing. They thought a rock was in their way, but when they looked closer with a camera, they found sponges living where they didn't think anything could live. This surprising find was not far from where any usual food source could be found. Instead of giving up, this discovery made them even more excited about what else they could find in Antarctica. It showed them that life can find a way to survive in the most unexpected and tough places. These sponges live in a place with no light and very few things to eat, which makes us wonder how they manage to survive. It's fascinating to think about how these creatures live with so little food in such cold and dark water. This mystery makes us want to learn more about the hidden world under Antarctica's ice. But it also makes us think about how fragile this beautiful underwater world is, especially with climate change threatening to change everything. Joe Rogan's podcast talks a lot about Antarctica's mysteries, including Operation High Jump. This was a big military project by the U.S. Navy in 1946 to 1947, led by Rear Admiral Richard E. Byrd. They wanted to set up a research base there, but there are many stories and theories about the real reasons behind this mission. Rogan's podcast discusses these stories, from secret Nazi bases to encounters with aliens.
I didn't know about that enormous crater that's in Antarctica.
Showing how much people are intrigued by the unknown parts of Antarctica. This deep interest in Antarctica goes from the daring explorers of the early 20th century to today's scientists. The early explorers like Ernest Shackleton and Captain Scott faced incredible dangers to learn more about this remote place. Their adventures laid the groundwork for all the scientific research that's happening there now. From ancient times, people have been curious about a mysterious southern land. Early explorers and famous missions tried to uncover its secrets, often facing great danger. Over time, the focus shifted from just exploring to also understanding Antarctica's important role in the Earth's climate and ecosystems. Now, scientists from all over the world study Antarctica. They're looking at how it affects the whole planet's climate, its unique animals and plants, and what the ice and rocks can tell us about the Earth's past. This research is really important for making decisions about how to take care of our planet and deal with climate change. The Antarctic Treaty is a big deal because it's about working together to take care of this special place. It makes sure that Antarctica is used for peaceful research and protects the environment there. This agreement shows that people around the world realize how important Antarctica is and want to keep it safe for the future. Before we explore what's under Antarctica's ice, let's find out about Lake Vostok and the life inside, delving into the mysteries of the subglacial world. Underneath Antarctica's frostbitten surface, there's a surprising world that's reshaping how we see life in the history of our planet. We found more than 379 hidden lakes beneath the ice, showing us that beneath what seems like a still, frozen world is actually a vibrant, moving one full of potential life. Lake Vostok stands out among these hidden lakes. It's huge, stretching over 250 kilometers and diving down to depths of about 800 meters. Its size and the life it might hold are fascinating, not just to those studying life on Earth, but also to those wondering about life on other planets. In another lake under Antarctica's ice, Lake Whillans, researchers have found a surprising amount of life. They identified around 4,000 species from DNA samples and discovered a lot of dissolved organic carbon. This suggests a lively ecosystem exists there, surviving in complete darkness, nourished by methane. Bacteria that eat this methane show the complex ways life can survive cut off from the world. These hidden lakes also tell us stories about Earth's geological past. They might have been cut off from everything else for up to 35 million years. The water systems linking these lakes let water move between them under miles of ice. This could change what we know about how glaciers move and affect our global climate, and it hints at the possibility of life in extreme conditions. These lakes under Antarctica could be similar to the oceans scientists think exist under the ice of moons like Europa and Enceladus. This makes them exciting places to study when thinking about life beyond our planet. Lake Vostok, hidden and huge under Antarctica's ice, is a place full of mysteries waiting to be discovered. It stretches long and deep, isolated under about 4 kilometers of ice for millions of years. Exploring Lake Vostok has started to reveal a world where life exists in ways we didn't think possible. The cold, dark, and pressurized environment of the lake is home to a complex network of microorganisms. The variety of life found in Lake Vostok, from the DNA of bacteria and fungi to possibly even fish, challenges our views on where life can flourish. The lake's microbes, some loving heat near possible vents and others thriving in the ice, show incredible adaptations for survival, like using arsenic and sulfur for food. In the vast ice of Antarctica, there's an intriguing story about pyramid-like shapes seen from space. These formations peeking through the melting ice have sparked a lot of conversations about possible ancient cultures and hidden histories. While most scientists are skeptical, saying these are natural formations, the idea of pyramids under the ice fuels many conspiracy theories and wild guesses, suggesting there might have been people here long before our known history starts. Also, in 2017, scientists from the Alfred Wegener Institute dug into Antarctica's seabed and found something amazing. They found the remains of a rainforest that was 90 million years old, right near the South Pole. This place used to be warm and wet, much like today's New Zealand forests. It tells us that this part of the world used to have a mild climate with summers reaching up to 19 degrees C. This discovery suggests that back in the mid-Cretaceous period, the area was free of major ice sheets and had a lot of green living things, thanks to very high levels of carbon dioxide in the air. This rainforest under the ice shows us how much Earth's climate can change and how carbon dioxide can warm even the coldest places. It makes us think about life on other planets with icy surfaces, but warm oceans underneath, like Jupiter's moon Europa or Saturn's moon Enceladus. Discoveries like this are crucial because they show us how climates can shift and remind us why it's important to keep our current ice caps from melting. In the cold waters around Antarctica, researchers have found an amazing sea creature named the Antarctic strawberry feather star. This colorful creature, part of the crinoid family, uses its many arms for moving and feeding in the dark ocean. The discovery of this and other new species in the Antarctic waters tells us a lot about the biodiversity hidden beneath the ice, challenging the idea that Antarctica is just a frozen desert. These crinoids are unique because they don't attach to the seafloor but swim freely, living in depths from shallow waters to over 1,000 meters deep. They've been found in various places around Antarctica, showing the rich and complex life that thrives in these icy waters. The study of these creatures, especially how they feed and reproduce, provides insight into the complex ecosystem of Antarctica's ocean, revealing a world full of life in conditions we once thought uninhabitable. Before we learn about Antarctica's animals, let's talk about chinstrap penguins and how they survive in the icy cold. Tales of wildlife braving Antarctica's frostbite. In Antarctica's frozen expanse, a diverse community of animals thrives against all odds, showing incredible adaptability. The emperor penguins stand out, breeding on the icy surface, forming close groups to keep warm during the harsh winter. These birds, along with tiny life forms like the wingless midge and various small plants, find a way to live in spots where ice melts. Crocodile icefish are fascinating because they have clear blood without red blood cells, an adaptation to the cold that might be at risk as the oceans warm. Meanwhile, the phenomenon of polar gigantism, where creatures grow larger than their counterparts in warmer waters, suggests the cold, oxygen-rich environment plays a role in their size. Adelie penguins rely heavily on sea ice for survival, facing challenges as their habitat changes. Similarly, seals and whales in Antarctica depend on the ice for key life activities, showing the deep connection between the creatures in their icy home. Birds, from albatrosses to the unique South Georgia pipit, thrive along the coasts and islands, indicating a rich avian life in this remote region. And in the waters, the few species of fish that exist have developed antifreeze proteins in their blood, allowing them to survive in freezing temperatures. The chinstrap penguins, with their distinctive look and large numbers, are a significant part of the Antarctic's wildlife. They have a unique breeding cycle, with males preparing nests for the arrival of females and the later care of their chicks. These penguins' lives are a cycle of feeding at sea and returning to land for breeding, showcasing their resilience and adaptability to the Antarctic's challenging conditions. In Antarctica's icy vastness, home to creatures that have perfected surviving in near-impossible conditions, life flourishes against all odds. This seemingly barren and harsh territory teems with a diversity of life, from the largest penguins to the smallest organisms, all uniquely adapted to their cold environment. The chinstrap penguins, easily spotted by the distinctive black stripe that stretches below their chins from one side to the other, make their homes across various islands and coastal areas within the southern Pacific and the icy waters of the Antarctic. Their appearance is specially designed for survival, with a dark back to blend in with the ocean depths when seen from above, and a white belly to merge with the bright surface when viewed from below. Their robust legs and either pink or orange feet add to their distinctive waddling walk on land. Even though they are smaller in size compared to other penguins with similar tail features, they are quite spirited and bold. These penguins are comfortable living in a range of cold environments, from the icy shores of Antarctica to the slightly warmer islands near South America, adapting well to both cold and more moderate climates. The life of a chinstrap penguin is fraught with dangers, notably from leopard seals that hunt them in the waters, potentially reducing their numbers by up to 20% each year. On land, they face threats from birds like the brown skua, South Polar skua, and the southern giant petrel, which target their eggs and young. Even the Antarctic fur seal has been known to occasionally prey on them. Despite these risks, these penguins have developed a fascinating survival tactic for rest. They engage in thousands of brief naps throughout the day, each lasting just a few seconds, which helps them stay vigilant against threats while still getting enough sleep, totaling over 11 hours each day. Their diet mainly consists of krill and some small fish, placing them as an essential link in the Antarctic ecosystem. Chinstrap penguins gather in massive groups to breed, showing a complex social structure, and surprisingly, they exhibit quite an aggressive nature compared to other penguin species. The breeding process is a cooperative effort, with both parents sharing the duty of keeping their eggs warm until they hatch about a month and a week later. After spending their first few weeks in the nest under the watchful eyes of their parents, the young penguins then join nursery groups, called creches, where they stay until they develop their adult feathers and are ready to swim in the sea. The Adelie penguins, sharing the ecosystem with chinstraps, depend on similar resources for survival. Their numbers have seen ups and downs affected by environmental changes. A specific area known as Penguin Heaven offers them an ideal living space, rich in krill and with less sea ice, providing a perfect breeding ground. The narrative of life in Antarctica is filled with stories of survival, From the emperor penguins raising their young on the ice to the complex social structures and hunting strategies of orca whales. Orcas, known for their intelligence and group hunting tactics, contrast with the solitary existence of blue whales, slowly recovering from the brink of extinction due to past whaling. Antarctica's ecosystem is intricate, with each creature playing a role in maintaining the balance. This ice-covered continent continues to reveal stories of resilience, adaptability, and survival, highlighting the wonders of life in one of the most extreme environments on Earth. Let's learn about seals like the Ross seals and craybeater seals and their lives on the ice. The Antarctica's seal heroes. In Antarctica, life unfolds dramatically, and the fierce leopard seal rules the country. These predators, often seen as villains of the Antarctic waters, actually play a crucial part in keeping the ecosystem in balance. They help control the penguin and fur seal populations, preventing them from becoming too large. It's a natural way of making sure no single species takes over, even though it can be pretty harsh. Ross seals are a bit of a mystery compared to other seals, with their smaller, slimmer bodies and unique features like big eyes and short fur. They're often seen lounging on land with their heads up, making noises that have earned them the nickname singing seal. Living mostly alone among the sea ice, they don't travel long distances, but instead follow the ice as it moves. Ross seals mostly eat fish and squid, diving deep to find their food. Not much is seen of them facing threats from other large predators, which adds to their mysterious life. When it's time to have babies, Ross seals do it all alone, with the mother seal giving birth on the ice. These seals are pretty private about their mating process, which scientists think happens underwater and hasn't been directly observed. Ross seals grow up fast, reaching adulthood at 3 years, and can live to be around 20 years old. Even though people rarely see them, Ross seals have been part of scientific studies, but they're not usually affected by fishing activities. It's estimated there are about 130,000 Ross seals, but it's hard to be sure because they're so hard to spot. Despite what its name might suggest, the crab-eater seal doesn't actually feast on crabs. Instead, its main food source is Antarctic krill, tiny shrimp-like creatures. The seal has developed special teeth that act like a strainer, allowing it to efficiently catch these small crustaceans while letting water flow out. This unique ability is perfect for its home in the icy waters surrounding Antarctica, where krill are found in large numbers. An interesting turn of events has come from the decrease in the number of whales, which used to compete with the craybeater seals for the same food. Now, with fewer whales around, there's more krill available for the seals, leading to a noticeable increase in their population. It's estimated that the number of crab-eater seals could be as high as 30 million worldwide, making them among the most common types of seals found anywhere. Crab-eater seals have a distinctive look, with slim bodies and long heads and noses, which sets them apart from other seal species. Their teeth and jaws work together perfectly to trap krill, making them incredibly effective hunters. These seals are found all over the Antarctic, living on floating ice and displaying impressive agility both on land and in the water. They tend to keep to themselves or stick to small groups, though you might see them in larger numbers during certain times of the year, like when they're shedding their old fur or looking for mates. Despite their misleading name, these seals almost entirely eat Antarctic krill, though they might occasionally snack on fish or squid. The crab-eater seals' spread around the Antarctic is closely tied to the shifting ice that they live on. They've proven themselves to be highly adaptable and resilient, thriving in the harsh conditions of the Antarctic. As predators, they play a crucial role in their ecosystem, helping to control the krill population, which in turn affects the overall food chain in their habitat. Crab-eater seals are also remarkable divers, able to plunge deep underwater and stay there for long stretches as they hunt for krill below the ice. Their exceptional diving abilities and navigation skills through icy waters showcase their specialized adaptations for surviving in one of the planet's most extreme environments. Then there are the southern elephant seals, the titans of the seal world, known not just for their massive size, but also for their distinctive large noses. These seals engage in fierce fights over who gets to lead the group and win mating rights, with these confrontations often ending in bloodshed. These dramatic battles take place on beaches in the subantarctic region, where the winners gain control over groups of females, while the losers are left to lick their wounds. Interestingly, Despite once being on the verge of disappearing forever due to overhunting by humans, these enormous seals have made a comeback. This recovery highlights nature's incredible capacity for resilience and adaptation, provided it's given the opportunity to heal. Watching these giants roll around in the mud and sling it at each other serves as a powerful reminder of the unstoppable force of life, capable of enduring and flourishing even when faced with great challenges. In the cold and relentless Antarctic environment, each animal has its own role in a complex narrative about survival, hunting, and unexpected comebacks. Come to explore how snowy sheathbills and Arctic terns survive and move in these harsh conditions. Protecting our feathered friends. Various birds manage to make a living, impressively adapting to extreme conditions, while also facing significant challenges because of humans. The albatross, with its incredibly wide wings and ability to live for decades, stands out in this avian community. These birds are symbols of the rich variety of life in this cold region, as well as the difficulties in protecting that diversity. The wandering albatross is particularly striking, known for its large size and the way it becomes whiter as it ages, embodying the struggle for survival amid changing weather and human threats. The gray-headed albatross chooses the even colder southern areas for laying its eggs, showing its amazing ability to endure. On the other hand, the black-browed albatross looks for food near where humans fish, displaying an interesting relationship with our activities. The light-mantled albatross, which conserves energy by following big sea animals, underlines how everything in the Antarctic is connected. Unfortunately, albatross numbers are dropping fast because they often get caught accidentally by fishing gear, with more than 100,000 dying each year from this and other dangers, like invasive species and sicknesses. The British Antarctic Survey is leading the way in using satellites to check on these birds from afar, hoping to protect them better without bothering them in their distant homes. This effort pays extra attention to the most at-risk groups, including the wandering and Tristan albatrosses, the latter being extremely at risk because of accidental capture in fishing gear and attacks by animals brought by humans. Protecting these birds is very important, as shown by the international agreement called the Agreement on the Conservation of Albatrosses and Petrels, ACAB, which tries to reduce dangers through countries working together. Even with these efforts, many albatross types are in danger of disappearing, which makes it critical to keep and increase protection for them. The situation of the wandering albatross is especially worrying, with their numbers going down, making it necessary to focus on saving them. They are seen as vulnerable and play an important part in the Antarctic's natural life. Efforts to save them are essential to make sure these amazing birds, which can fly vast distances in just one day and live up to 60 years, will still be part of the southern skies for future generations. To understand more about saving these magnificent birds and the new ways being tried to keep them safe, organizations like the British Antarctic Survey, Discovering Antarctica, and the Australian Antarctic Program provide important information on the challenges and actions being taken for their preservation. As we delve deeper into the icy landscapes of Antarctica, the presence of the snowy sheathbill stands as a remarkable example of how life adapts to survive in the most challenging environments. This bird makes its living by scavenging, feeding on whatever leftovers it can find in the snow. It's a master of making the most of its surroundings, proving that even in a place as desolate as Antarctica, life finds a way. Its relative, the black-faced sheathbill, showcases the same level of adaptability, thriving in conditions that would seem uninhabitable to most. Among the avian inhabitants of the polar regions, Arctic terns hold a special place due to their awe-inspiring migratory journey. Recognized as the animal kingdom's ultimate long-distance travelers, they undertake an annual migration that stretches from pole to pole. Astonishingly, some of these birds have been recorded traveling up to 56,000 miles, 90,000 kilometers, in a single year, solidifying their status as the marathon flyers of the bird world. But Arctic terns are not just about endurance. They are exemplars of flight efficiency, with a body built for both robust flapping and graceful gliding. These birds, each weighing just about 4 ounces, navigate their lengthy migration with intelligence and strategy, often hitching rides on favorable winds to ease their journey. Their trips southwards is paced to allow for feeding stops at abundant waters, whereas their return north is more direct, taking advantage of specific wind patterns to hasten their travel. Their migratory timing aligns perfectly with the changing seasons, beginning their southward venture in the fall and heading back north in the spring. During the southern summer, they enjoy the bounties of the Southern Ocean before returning to the Arctic to breed. The life of an Arctic tern is filled with fascinating behaviors beyond their migration. They are sociable birds, often seen foraging and nesting in groups. Their diet is primarily fish, caught through skillful dives from the air. The journey of the Arctic tern is nothing short of monumental. Research indicates that these birds travel an average of 44,100 miles, 70,900 kilometers, annually, which means over a lifespan of around 30 years. They could travel as much as 1.5 million miles, 2.4 million kilometers. This distance is equivalent to going to the moon and back 3 times, ensuring they enjoy more daylight annually than any other creature on Earth by following intricate routes that exploit the prevailing winds. For those interested in observing the breathtaking migration of the Arctic terns, your best chances during their transit, unless you're venturing to their breeding grounds in the Arctic or their wintering spots in the Antarctic. They spend most of their migration at sea, so joining a pelagic birding or whale-watching excursion could provide an opportunity to witness these remarkable birds in action. The birds of Antarctica embody the ultimate in survival, adaptability, and the sheer beauty of life on the edge. However, this unique avian paradise faces threats from climate change, endangering the existence of its inhabitants, from the wide-winged albatrosses to the indefatigable Arctic terns. Discover the secrets of Antarctica's tough birds. From the amazing albatross to the strong Arctic tern, they beat the odds. Like and subscribe for more.